Hey guys, Sak here from SAKITECH, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing over 25 plus tips, tricks, and features to fully customize your Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3. Now you paid a lot of money for this fantastic phone, so I want to make sure you get maximum satisfaction out of your ownership. And of course, if you're thinking about buying this phone, this is the perfect video to watch to get acquainted with all its features and capabilities. So let's dive in and get started right away. Alright, so let's start off with the cover display right over here. It is new, it is larger, it's got some extra features. So first and foremost, if you just tap it once, it wakes up the display and shows the clock, date, time, and also the battery. If you double tap it, it actually wakes up. So double tap, it's going to wake up, it's going to be brighter. Now when you swipe to the side, you can access a bunch of widgets that you can in fact customize. You got the weather, you've got today's schedule, you've got a timer. Now what you can do to customize this area right here is you can press and hold. Let me cancel that. You can press and hold, and that allows you to actually remove the widgets. Or if I go over here, I can tap on plus, and any available widget is going to show up right here, and I can add that to the screen. Okay, and once I'm done, I tap on back, it's going to go back in business. So you can also go all the way up here to tap on add a widget. Now if I swipe back over to the main screen where we have the clock, to this side we are going to get our notifications. So if I tap on this one, it's going to ask me to open the app. Once I do that, it's going to ask me to open the phone. I'm going to go back to that. Finally, what we have, let me just clear everything. If I pull this down, I have a volume controller right here. Okay, so vibrate, silent, or full volume, and of course we have the brightness that controls the cover screen, as you can see. Let's keep it right here. And that's all about the cover display and what you can do here. Let's go inside, see what else we can do from inside the phone to the cover display. Alright, so in the main menu, if I go into my settings, I can go down a little bit and we have a dedicated cover screen options. So I can click on it, and from here, look at that. If I go to my widgets, I can do the same thing I was doing outside. I can enable and disable widgets from here, and I can reorder them if I so desire. Okay, so weather on the top, music at the bottom. So that's the same thing I showed you earlier, can be done from here as well. But we can also go to clock style and pick a different clock style for the cover display. So we have these cool options, as you can see. Look at this little animal. We got that color right there. All right, so that's fantastic. You can also change the background, the color of the clock. And that's basically all you can do with the cover display customization. Now, the next thing you want to do with your phone is you do want to go all the way down. You want to go to your About phone. You tap on it, and you want to give it a proper name. So in my case, I'm going to call it Saki Flip 3. Okay, so once you make this change, this is what everybody is going to see when you share stuff with them. So via Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, or anything else, your phone is going to appear as Saki Flip 3. Easy to identify, and also make it yours. Let's move on. Now, one more thing that's really cool is the flex mode. So when you have the phone like this, it's in the flex mode. What you can do is with certain applications, when you click the camera, for example, you get a split view. So you have the screen here, and you have your controls at the bottom here. Okay, so this works with a bunch of applications. Even if I go to YouTube right now, let me go to YouTube right now, and let's say I play this video right here. Okay, you can see that the video splits over here, and then you have the bottom portion right over here. So when I play the video, I can watch the video and I can interact with the bottom portion just like this. Now, there is a special setting that you can use to force this on any application. So you go to your settings, you go into your advanced features. Once you're in the advanced features, you tap on labs and you say flex mode panel. So that's going to try to apply to every app that's possible. So you can pause and read. The bottom of the screen has extra controls to help you use the app on the top. Okay, and we just looked at that just a second ago. So when I launch the camera, that's the usual camera, but when I flex it, just like this, let's go inside, it turns into a split view, as you can see. Now, another thing that you want to do real quick, you want to go to your settings, and you want to go into your display, And I'll let you know, this phone now has 120 Hz refresh rate. You can either keep that or you can go back to 60 Hz, and that's going to save you some battery life. But this one, the Adaptive 120, is going to give you smoother, silkier experience as you browse around the phone. So that's going to be your choice. I would just keep this at Adaptive to get the best experience. The next thing that you want to modify, which is very important when it comes to multimedia, the phone has two great speakers. So you want to go to Sounds and Vibration. You want to go all the way down, and under Sound Quality and Effects, you want to make sure you enable Dolby Atmos to get the best sounding experience. When you go inside, make sure to pick the Auto, or if you know you're about to watch a movie, you can just pick Movie, Music, or Voice, okay? I just keep this in Auto, works great. And the other thing is, if you're gaming, also enable it so you get the best gaming sound. Now, on top of that, you want to go back into Advanced Features right here. You click on it, then you go all the way down, and under Video Brightness, you want to make sure you enable this to bright. So anytime you launch any supported application like YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, once you install, it's going to show up here as well. You can enable it for particular applications, and what you are going to get is you're going to get a vivid display experience. The movie is going to look brighter, the video is going to be more sharper. It's just going to be great. So enable these two features for maximum multimedia experience. Now, one more thing you want to do is in the main settings menu, go down, go to Battery and Device Care. Under Battery, you want to tap on More Battery Settings, and at the bottom it says Protect Battery. So if you want to extend the lifespan of your battery, you enable this. By enabling this, the maximum charge is going to be 85%, and that extends the battery. If you disable this, it'll charge all the way to 100%. But that's going to degrade the battery sooner. Not too soon, but this is going to extend it even more, especially if you're thinking of keeping this phone for a bunch of years. So enable that. Let's go back and back one more time at the bottom. If you see this option, make sure it is enabled. This allows you to scan for viruses, malware, spyware, and if there's a problem, it removes them. So your phone remains nice and clean. Some phones, some carriers disable this option. Mine is an unlocked version. Most people should have this option. If not, not a huge deal, but if you have it, boom, enable it. The next thing I want to talk about has to do with the home screen. Now, when I pull my finger down anywhere on the home screen, it brings down the notifications panel. That's an option you want to enable. So, because when you swipe up, it goes to the apps. So when you swipe down, it should go somewhere else. So pinch the screen, go to Settings. At the bottom, make sure Swipe Down for Notification Panel is enabled. If this is not enabled, look what happens. I pull down, takes me to the app drawer, which I can do this way as well. So up and down, same thing, redundant. So pinch, swipe down for Notification Panel. And that's fantastic. Another thing you want to set up, you can see right now, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 columns, all right? So if you pinch the screen and go to Settings, you can change the home screen grid. So I can go for some like 5 by 5, which gives me more space to add even more apps. I'm going to cancel this for now. You can do the same thing with the apps, okay? So you can have more apps show up in one page, which is what I'm going to do right now. And also pinch the screen. You can do the same thing for the folder. I can have 4 by 4, which is 16 items within a folder. And while I'm in the folder, you can tap on this circle here to customize the color of that folder anytime you desire. And of course, the name is obvious. You tap here, you can change the name. Now, one big thing with the home screen, I can press and hold and select, which allows me to select multiple items at the same time, as you can see. And then I can press and hold and move the entire batch over to the other screen. This is great for easy movement between home screens and organizing. Additionally, press and hold lets me select a bunch of these guys, and I can say something like this: create folder, boom, gets packaged into a folder. I give it a name, tap on this color, get a color. Look what we got right here. Okay, fantastic. And also, if you're in the folder, you want to undo the folder, you want to dismantle that folder, select, boom, 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 press and hold, get out, the folder is gone, all right? And you can put them back where they belong. Now, one more thing. You want to make sure this option is enabled. Double tap to turn off the screen, double tap to wake up the screen. So make sure you go to your settings. That's going to make it very convenient. Go to advanced features and then go down, go to motions and gestures, and make sure double tap to turn on screen is enabled. So as an example, if I disable this, I cannot double tap to turn off the display, okay? So make sure you do that as well, and also have lift to wake enabled, so when his phone is turned off and you lift the phone, it just wakes up the display so you can see what's going on. It applies to both the inner display and the cover screen. And then we have the finger sensor gesture. So we do have a fingerprint sensor right here. What I can do is I can enable this, then go inside, and look what you can do. You can swipe down to bring the notifications panel down on the fingerprint sensor on the side. So that's fantastic, all right? Another way to bring down the notifications panel. So let's move on. The next thing has to do with your notifications. So if I go into my settings, all right, and if I go into my notifications, as long as you have the brief option selected, not the detailed, because when you select detailed, these two options at the bottom disappear. So when you have the brief, you can go to brief, pop-up settings, and enable edge lighting, all right? And that's going to be very cool, because when somebody sends you a message, show you what that looks like. Okay, so that's all good. So look at this. We have a nice edge lighting around the display. I can change the color to whatever I want. Let's go for green. And of course, if I go to advanced, you can see I can even change the width. I can make it wider and more visible. So that's a really cool effect. When you get a notification, this is what happens. So you know you got a notification when the phone is turned off. But it's only available under brief and not detailed. With the detailed notifications, when you get a pop-up, you get more details, but no edge lighting effect. Now, one more thing you want to do, when you swipe to the side, you get access to the Google screen. Now, here's what you can do. You can pinch the screen. You can go over. You actually have two options. You can use Samsung Free, which I don't recommend, or you can go do Google Discover, which is going to be much more personalized. Pinch the screen one more time, and also let you know if you don't want anything on this side, kill it, all right? Just turn it off. Now, when you swipe, there's nothing there, and also it's going to save you some battery. So that's fantastic. The next thing you want to change, you want to go to your settings, and then you want to go into your display. You want to go down over to navigation bar, and some people don't like the buttons. If you want a full screen display, you can go to swipe gestures, and look at how those buttons simply disappear. And now I can use my swipe gestures, as you can see, and I can even customize my swipe gestures further. You can see we can disable that line at the bottom. I can disable that gesture line, disappears. So I have a full immersive phone, all right? Some people like this. Let me go back in here for a second. And I prefer to have my buttons, so I'm going to tap on the buttons, and then I can have these buttons. I can change, here's the back, home, and recents. Now, what I can do is I can change it to back, recents, and home if I so desire. And talking about the recents button, if I tap this, at the bottom I have suggested applications, okay? So these are being suggested based on your usage. If you don't want this, you can tap here, go to settings, and disable them, okay? So now you don't have the recommended applications, and the screen looks a little bit cleaner. That's another thing to do. And of course, you can do some cool customizations to the lock screen right here, okay? So let's talk about that. Let me go to my settings, and let me go quickly into my lock screen. I'm gonna tap on it. And first thing I like to do here is I like to change the contact information. Now, I don't use it for what it is intended. I simply use it to add a signature to my lock screen and customize it. So now when I go out there, look at this. It says SAKITECH right there. So that's a level of customization. If you go back into that menu, you also have the widgets. You tap on this guy. You can enable or disable the ones that you want. Let's enable these top 3 widgets. All right. And let me show you what they are. Tap on the clock. Expands to give you these widgets. And of course, like I said, they are further customizable. You can reorder them if you so desire, okay, and whatever. Let's go back. The next thing you want to do, go to the settings, lock screen, and you want to change the shortcuts. So tap on this one. On the left side, I want to have my calculator. On the right side, the camera is okay. Now in the lock screen, I have my calculator right there. Swipe side to the side, boom, quick access. So that's a bunch of lock screen customizations. If you go back into the settings, you can also modify your always on display. Now right now, it is designed to show up when I tap the screen. So when the screen is turned off, I tap it once, and it's going to show me the always on display. If I double tap, wakes it up. Now, with the always on display, what you can do is you can show always, which is going to kill the battery. So when the screen is turned off, it's just going to pop up for no reason. So it's not going to take too much battery, but it's still taking battery. So use it for tap to show or disable it if you don't want it. But if you enable it, you can also change the clock style. You can pick different always on display clocks. So that's further customization. Talking about that, if you go into your lock screen and simply click on clock style, you can change the lock screen clock style as well. So you have all these options and different color options. Let's take a look at that. There we go. Okay, the more you customize, the more it's going to feel like it's yours. Another cool thing, if you go to your messages, let's say you have a conversation with somebody. You go inside, it's white background, looks plain and boring. What you can do is you can tap on this, go into customize chat room, and then change the background image if you so desire, and also change the text contrast. Or you can add a background image from your gallery, so you can have the photo maybe of your girlfriend in the background when you're talking to her, or a photo of your buddy or your family member when you're talking to them. You can do this for every single person. Now, be careful. If you click this, it's going to apply that setting to all the chat rooms. But if you want a separate chat room for each separate person like this, simply don't click this button. Don't click this button, all right? Just do this and you're good to go, as you can see. So you can have a different background for everybody. Now, even if the phone is flipped shut or it's open like this, there's a setting that you want to change. You want to go to your phone, you want to tap on the options and go to settings, and under answering and ending calls, you want to make sure you enable physical keys to take calls or end calls. So look, if somebody calls me right now, I can press volume up to accept that call, or press the power, the side key, to actually reject the call or end the call. And again, like I said, you can do this even if the phone is shut. So you get physical keys to accept calls, which is fantastic. Additionally, the side key over here can be customized. So if you go to your settings and if you go into your advanced features, scroll down a little bit, go to side key, and here's what you can do. You can double press the side key to launch the camera, or you can actually click open an application. For example, I can just go for the calculator. So when I double tap it now, it's going to launch the calculator, all right? And also with the press and hold, if I press and hold, I can either wake Bixby, which a lot of people don't use, or I can access the power off menu. So press and hold, and I get access to the power off menu, which is fantastic. So make sure you customize that side key to launch any app that you want, and also to access the power off menu. Alright, so that brings us to the end of this video. Make sure to subscribe because we're going to be making many more videos on this smartphone. And if you do have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop them down below. Let me know. For now, guys, have a fantastic day.